This is not a katana. I'm not kidding. It's not a katana. It's a tachi. It's a different type of Japanese sword. It's like a longer katana. Don't ask me to explain the difference between a katana and a tachi. I don't know. It's not my specialty. All I can say is it is substantially longer. In fact, it's almost as long as many European longswords. Alright, so this is the Warrior Tachi from Yomikuni Swords, which was sent to me for review. It goes for 588 Canadian dollars, which is currently 435 US dollars. One hell of an exchange rate right now, huh? These are made in their factory in Longquan, China. And the blade is T10 tool steel, which has a carbon content of between 0.95 and 1.1%. So a lot of carbon, which makes it very hardenable, can be brought up to between 52 and 57 HRC, which is very hard. I don't know exactly what this has been tempered to. It's clay tempered, as you can see on the edge here. So this is a real hamon. I'm assuming the edge itself is at least 62 on the Rockwell C scale. This spine is going to be substantially softer. I don't know what, it might be 40 something, 50, who knows. T10 is known for excellent edge retention and also high abrasion resistance. So this should hold the same sharp edge for a very long time. Once it gets dull, it's probably a bit of a pain in the butt to resharpen, or at least take some time and patience. But it should last for quite a long time. And in fact, so far from the cutting I've done, there's nothing at all to be seen on the edge. And I don't think it has really dulled in any appreciable way at all. I don't notice anything. There's no wear that I can see. It has a fuller going all the way to the tip, which gives you the characteristic sword wind sound when you throw a cut with proper edge alignment. And the finish on it looks great. The hamon comes out really well, and there's no flaw on the blade. Very nice grind all the way to the edge. As I said, very sharp edge. So solid work on the blade overall, I can definitely say that. Onto the handle, it's got some very nicely decorated fittings. The tsuba is bronze, and also on the handle itself, these are really nice looking decorations. This was clearly designed with focus on high aesthetic value, which doesn't mean that it's not good for use, not at all, you'll see that later. But they did a really good job with this. I think it looks very appealing overall. The fit is extremely tight. In fact, I tried to disassemble it. I took a wooden dowel and a mallet and was kind of wailing away at the peg here, and it came out a little bit, but after a while I was like, okay, sword, you win. You are so tightly fitted that I don't want to mess with you. Particularly considering that in this silly apartment building here, I can't be hammering a lot, otherwise the neighbors freak out. I don't have any good workbench, anything like that. So yeah, I'll just leave it as it is. However, I did check with a magnet that it's full tang, and indeed it is. I can feel the pull through the handle here. So this goes all the way through. It only has a single peg, which I generally don't like. I prefer two, but it seems tightly enough fitted that it's not an issue. It's 100% rock solid. I cannot, even when I deliberately try to twist parts and just, yeah, this is the only thing that makes noise. So if I actually hold this and just mess with it, even slapping it, it's just, you like that, don't you? 100% solid, and this is after the test cutting. So high quality, high value production. There's one thing that irks me about this, and it's something that somebody else also pointed out on the website. Now, I agree with David. This thing here is annoying, but come on, bro. You can't give 3 out of 5 stars in a review of something that you've never handled just based on something you see. Nuh-uh. Anyway, so yeah, this brass flower here, it's really annoying. Like, it's especially because the handle overall is nice and smooth, which I like. I'm not actually a fan of the traditional wrap because the knots, sure, they give you good grip, but they just don't feel good in my opinion. But this would be so much better without that, especially since it's right where your fingers wrap around. It has no business being there. I mean, it would be okay if this was inset, you know, if this was actually flush with the wooden grip. I wouldn't mind that at all. I'm also a little annoyed by that. I mean, it seems a common feature of a tachi, but I just find it annoying. I don't like it. So it just clacks around and it's just and this fitting here tends to rub uncomfortably on the bottom hand. Nitpick, but it's definitely something you notice a little bit. It's a little bit irritating. So on to the cutting. This is where the thing absolutely shines. This is kind of ridiculous. It's even more impressive considering that I was asked what type of edge I want. If I want the light, extra sharp edge for light cutting or the heavy cutting edge. And I decided to go for the heavy cutting edge because I figured, you know, I tend to be kind of rough with my swords sometimes. And I'd like to avoid just messing it up. And so this is the heavy cutting edge, which is not quite as sharp as the light one. Yeah, it cuts very, very well. And it's really nice to cut with. In fact, you don't have to put a lot of power into it. Even on the tatami mats where I rolled a fairly substantial wooden dowel into it, no issue, just sailed right through. Wow. Minimal resistance. It has a very, very good blade geometry that has next to no resistance as it goes through the target because it's very gradually, smoothly tapered from the fuller all the way to the edge. You can tell Eric was also impressed by it.
Oh man.
It handles well. It's pretty light. It's well balanced. You can do quick follow-up cuts. You can do very clean cuts through the mat. Even when the edge alignment is a little off, just no problem. You can see that the mat moves more, but the blade is very forgiving. Minor mistakes or even moderate mistakes, no problem. Just zip right through. As a reviewer, this is basically the situation I hope for when testing and reviewing swords, because if something does not perform well and something goes wrong, the cutting is off, etc., you never know 100%. Was it me? Did I have an off day? Have I become rusty? And I certainly have due to lack of cutting practice lately. So there's always the chance for user error and all of that. But when it goes well, you know that, yep, it's the sword. I mean, hopefully you've done a good job too as the handler? The handler of a sword? That sounds weird. As the user during the cutting. So yeah, here I can, without a doubt, I can say this cuts extremely well. And especially for the price, I would have expected this to cost more. So yeah, I'm definitely liking it. Oh, I cut the bottom. Die. The scabbard is also very nice to look at, by the way. It has a lot of decorations, plenty of fine details, and I can't really say anything about the fit as it comes because I was told that this one here was modified a little bit since it was overly tight, and now it's, I mean, loose-ish. I wouldn't really call that loose because, okay, never mind. I wouldn't call it loose. Blip. Okay, it is loose, but not to the point where it bothers me a whole lot. But yeah, I can't really comment on that. That's not how it comes. So they seem to be a lot tighter by default. Anyway, so this one surprised me. When I got the offer, I was kind of like, yeah, why not? I haven't reviewed a tachi yet, and let's see how different it is compared to a katana. Like, I wasn't super excited necessarily, but it has definitely earned its stripes. It's oil with me. Something. I'm definitely liking it. That's what I can say. And I'm liking it more than I anticipated. This is a very nice sword. So I would certainly recommend, if you're interested in this type of sword, check out the link. They have a number of others as well. They also have Chinese swords. And you know, if this is the quality that you can expect, then absolutely go for it, I would say. So, good stuff. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the review, and have a good one, folks. Again, links down below. Clicky. Click it now.
Oh my god! I overpowered that so much.
Yes.